Hey there, fellow kaiju enthusiasts. Movie Camera, welcome back to the channel where we dive into the colossal world of giant monsters, epic battles, and everything in between. If you're new here, get ready, because today we're blasting off into outer space. Milky Way. So, you might be wondering, what's on the menu for today's monster feast? Well, ever thought about what happens when Godzilla, our favorite radioactive reptile, takes on not just earthly foes, but creatures from the stars? That's right. Today we're exploring the legendary clashes between Godzilla and space monsters. Strap in, folks, because this is gonna be one wild ride through the cosmos. Rocket. Now, let's set the scene. Picture this. Towering skyscrapers, panicked crowds, and amidst the chaos, the unmistakable roar of Godzilla echoing through the city. But wait, what's that descending from the sky? A monstrous silhouette blocks out the moon, and suddenly, Earth is under threat not just from our own giant monsters but from extraterrestrial titans. Shooting star Godzilla has been the king of the monsters for decades, captivating audiences worldwide with his sheer power and indomitable spirit. But his battles against space monsters take the action to a whole new level. So, what's the deal with these cosmic confrontations? Why did the franchise decide to send Godzilla's enemies into orbit? Let's dig in. The emergence of space monsters in the Godzilla universe. First off, a little history lesson. Book's Godzilla made his first appearance in 1954, serving as a metaphor for nuclear devastation, a byproduct of the fears stemming from World War II. The original films had a somber tone, focusing on the consequences of human actions. But as time went on, the franchise needed to evolve to keep audiences engaged. Enter the space monsters. In the 1960s and 70s, sci-fi was booming. The space race was in full swing, and people were fascinated by the possibilities of what lay beyond our planet. The Godzilla creators tapped into this by introducing extraterrestrial threats, expanding the scope of the stories. This shift allowed for more imaginative plots and the inclusion of sci-fi elements like alien invasions and advanced technologies. By pitting Godzilla against space monsters, the filmmakers could explore new themes and bring in fresh challenges for our favorite kaiju. It wasn't just about giant creatures wrecking cities anymore, it was about the fate of the entire planet, and sometimes even the universe. Iconic space monsters. Alright, let's talk about the stars, pun intended, of these interstellar showdowns. First up, the infamous King Ghidorah. If Godzilla is the king of the monsters, then Ghidorah is the ultimate challenger to the throne. Dragon with 3 dragon heads, 2 tails, and golden scales, he's a sight to behold. And those gravity beams he shoots from his mouths? Absolutely devastating. King Ghidorah's origins vary across different films. Sometimes he's a space monster controlled by aliens bent on conquering Earth. Other times, he's a prehistoric creature awakened from slumber. But one thing remains consistent: he's one of Godzilla's most formidable foes. Their battles are not just physical but also symbolize the clash between good and evil, chaos and order. Next in line is Gigan, one of the most unique and, let's be honest, bizarre kaiju out there. Imagine a giant cybernetic space dinosaur with a buzzsaw in his torso and hooked blades for hands. Robot T-Rex sounds like something out of a metal band's album cover, right? Gigan was introduced in Godzilla vs. Gigan, and quickly became a fan favorite due to his brutal fighting style and distinctive design. Gigan doesn't just rely on brute strength, his cybernetic enhancements make him a lethal opponent. His partnership with other space monsters, like King Ghidorah, adds layers to the story, showing that sometimes even the bad guys team up to take down a common enemy. Then we have Space Godzilla, one of the more complex additions to the roster. In Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, scientists speculate that Space Godzilla was created when Godzilla's cells, thrown into space by either Biollante or Mothra, got sucked into a black hole and mutated. Talk about bad luck. 4-leaf clover, or maybe the universe just couldn't handle that much Godzilla DNA. Space Godzilla possesses powers beyond the original, including telekinesis and the ability to create massive crystal structures. His arrival forces Godzilla to confront a twisted version of himself, raising questions about identity and the consequences of humanity's interference with nature. And let's not forget about Monster X, who later transforms into Kaiser Ghidorah in Godzilla: Final Wars. With a sleek, humanoid design and fierce combat skills, Monster X is a modern take on the space monster concept. Orga, from Godzilla 2000, is another interesting foe, a millennia-old alien that tries to absorb Godzilla's regenerative abilities. Epic battles and showdowns. Now, onto the battles, the heart-pounding, city-leveling, monster-smashing action we all live for. Collision. One of the standout confrontations is in Destroy All Monsters, 1968, where almost every kaiju from the Toho universe unites to battle King Ghidorah. It's the ultimate team-up, showcasing Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and others joining forces. It's like the Avengers Endgame of monster movies. In Godzilla vs. Gigan, we witness a rare moment where Godzilla communicates with Anguirus through speech bubbles. Yes, speech bubbles. It's as quirky as it sounds, but it adds charm to the film. The battle scenes are intense, with Gigan's buzzsaw causing real trouble for Godzilla. At one point, Godzilla actually bleeds, showing that these space monsters are not to be underestimated. Facing Space Godzilla brings a psychological element to the fight. Godzilla has to outsmart a creature that knows his every move. The film explores themes of isolation and the fear of one's own destructive potential. The final battle is a spectacle of energy beams, crystal explosions, and raw power. Let's not forget the use of cinematic techniques that made these battles memorable. The filmmakers used slow motion, dramatic close-ups, and even experimental cuts to heighten the tension. The soundtracks, composed by masters like Akira Ifukube, added a sense of grandeur and urgency. Audiences were thrilled by the combination of visual and auditory elements, making each battle an unforgettable experience. Themes and symbolism. But these films aren't just about giant monsters duking it out. They delve into deeper themes that resonate with viewers. For instance, the recurring motif of humanity's hubris, our tendency to overreach, and the dire consequences that follow. The space monsters often symbolize external threats that force humans to confront their own vulnerabilities. The collaboration between humans and Godzilla is another intriguing aspect. In several films, humans must decide whether to fight against Godzilla or ally with him to face a greater threat. This dynamic raises questions about trust, coexistence, and the lesser of two evils. Environmental concerns also take center stage. The destructive capabilities of the space monsters often serve as an allegory for natural disasters exacerbated by human negligence. The films caution against environmental exploitation and warn of the unknown dangers lurking in the unexplored corners of space. Behind the scenes. Let's shift gears and talk about the magic behind the camera. The production teams faced immense challenges in bringing these colossal creatures to life. Remember, CGI wasn't an option in the early days. Everything was practical effects. The suits worn by actors were heavy, hot, and cumbersome. Haruo Nakajima, the original Godzilla suit actor, reportedly lost several pounds each day during filming due to heat and exhaustion. Now that's dedication. Movie camera. Creating King Ghidorah was a monumental task. Each of Ghidorah's heads had to be operated by separate puppeteers, requiring precise coordination. The special effects director, Eiji Tsuburaya, was instrumental in developing innovative techniques. They used miniature sets, pyrotechnics, and clever camera work to make the monsters appear larger than life. With the advent of CGI in the 90s and 2000s, the filmmakers could push the boundaries even further. Godzilla. Final Wars combined practical effects with digital technology, resulting in faster-paced battles and more dynamic monster movements. The fusion of old and new techniques paid homage to the franchise's roots while appealing to modern audiences. Influence on pop culture. Godzilla's clashes with space monsters haven't just entertained us, they've left a lasting impact on pop culture. They've inspired other franchises like Power Rangers and Pacific Rim, where giant robots and monsters are the norm. The concept of kaiju has become a genre in itself, influencing comic books, video games, and even music. Merchandising has played a huge role in cementing Godzilla's legacy. From action figures to apparel, video games to collectible cards, the demand for Godzilla-related products is immense. Fan conventions like G-Fest celebrate all things Godzilla, bringing together enthusiasts from around the world to share their passion. The ripple effect extends beyond entertainment. The themes explored in these films, environmentalism, the ethics of science, global unity, have sparked discussions and academic studies. Godzilla isn't just a movie monster, he's a cultural icon that reflects societal concerns. Modern interpretations. In recent years, we've seen a resurgence of monster films, thanks in part to Legendary Pictures' MonsterVerse. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, brought back King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan in spectacular fashion. The updated designs stayed true to the originals while incorporating modern aesthetics. The battles were grander, the stakes higher, and the visual effects absolutely stunning. Speculation is rife about which monsters will appear next. Fans are clamoring for the introduction of Gigan or even a reimagined Space Godzilla. Imagine how epic those battles would be with today's technology. There are even talks of crossovers and expanding the MonsterVerse further. Could we see Godzilla face off against new extraterrestrial foes? Only time will tell. One thing's for sure, the appetite for giant monster action is as big as ever. As technology advances, so do the possibilities for storytelling. Whether through film, television, or streaming platforms, Godzilla's legacy is set to continue, thrilling old fans and captivating new ones. So, to wrap things up, Godzilla's battles against space monsters have not only provided us with jaw-dropping entertainment but have also enriched the franchise's narrative depth. These cosmic confrontations have allowed the series to explore complex themes, challenge its characters, and keep the storyline fresh and exciting. From the terror of King Ghidorah to the menace of Gigan and the existential threat of Space Godzilla, these space monsters have pushed Godzilla to his limits and beyond. They've forced us to consider our place in the universe and the potential consequences of our actions. Godzilla's evolution from a symbol of destruction to Earth's unlikely defender is a journey that resonates on multiple levels. It's a testament to the enduring appeal of the character and the skill of the storytellers who have kept the franchise alive for so many decades. Thanks for sticking around till the end.